Something huge is coming to Heartland, and fans can already feel it. The Season 19 Episode 2 trailer just dropped, and it's packed with hidden emotions. New mysteries and moments that will break your heart. There's one scene that's making everyone talk, a moment that could change everything for Amy and the entire Fleming Bartlett family. But before we dive into the shocking details and leaks, let's take a step back. To understand what's coming, we need to remember where we left off in Episode 1. Because the clues start there. Episode 1 of Heartland Season 19 set the tone for what looks like one of the most emotional and intense seasons yet. The story opened with a calm morning on the ranch where Amy was seen working with a troubled horse. That single scene reminded us of who she truly is, the heart of Heartland. Her calm presence, her deep connection with horses, and the quiet strength she carries were all on display. Yet beneath her calm, there was a heaviness. It's clear that Amy is still healing, not just from past loss, but also from the pressure of holding the family together while finding her own purpose again. We also saw Lindy taking more space in the story. The little girl is growing fast, and her personality is starting to shine just like Amy's. Her curiosity, kindness, and courage made Episode 1 feel warm and full of hope. But there's also a sense that her storyline will be important this season. She's learning lessons about life, love, and even the meaning of loss. Fans noticed how the camera often focused on her reactions, especially during Amy's emotional moments, showing how their bond will play a major role in the coming episodes. Meanwhile, Lou's storyline brought a new wave of challenges. As mayor, she's under more stress than ever before. Her scenes were filled with political tension and personal conflict. As she tried to balance her duties at work with her family life, there was even a brief, quiet scene where Lou looked out at the ranch from her office window, a shot that said so much without a single word. It was the kind of moment that made viewers wonder if she was questioning the cost of all her responsibilities. Has she lost touch with the place that made her who she is? Or is she about to find her way back home emotionally? Tim, as always, brought his fiery energy to the episode. He's still trying to manage the rodeo school, and his drive is as strong as ever. But something about his attitude in Episode 1 felt different. He seemed distracted, more thoughtful, as if something or someone from his past is weighing on him. Fans online have already started guessing what's behind Tim's sudden mood shift. Could it be a health issue? Or maybe an unresolved part of his past coming back to the surface? Whatever it is, the writers are clearly building towards something big with him. Another highlight of Episode 1 was the subtle nods to characters we've lost and loved. There were photos of Ty and old family memories that made fans emotional. Even though Ty's story ended seasons ago, his presence still shapes the lives of those at Heartland. The episode's tone suggested that healing, legacy, and the passage of time will be major themes this season. And that makes the trailer for Episode 2 even more meaningful, because it feels like something or someone from the past might be returning in some form. Visually, Episode 1 was stunning. The golden Alberta landscape, the soft lighting of the ranch, and the natural sounds of the countryside made it feel like home again. The cinematography gave every scene a sense of calm before the storm, like something is just waiting to burst open. The direction was intimate. Every glance, every silence, every pause had meaning. It wasn't just a setup episode. It was a quiet storm, preparing the audience for what's next. By the end of Episode 1, the mood had completely shifted. A mysterious phone call, Amy's uncertain look, and the sudden cut to black left viewers with more questions than answers. The trailer for Episode 2 picks up right after that moment. If you've seen it, you already know it's about to get emotional. So, let's break it down scene by scene and uncover what's really coming next for the Heartland. Family. The trailer for Heartland Season 19 Episode 2 opens not with words, but with silence. A wide shot of the Heartland Ranch stretches across the screen, bathed in the soft glow of early morning light. Birds are singing, the horses are calm, and everything looks peaceful until we realize that this calm is hiding something deeper. There's a stillness in the air, the kind that comes right before a storm. And then we hear Amy's voice. Her tone is heavy, almost trembling as she says, "Sometimes doing the right thing doesn't feel right at all." That line alone sets the emotional tone for the entire trailer. The next few seconds come fast, a blur of emotion and movement. Amy is seen walking away from the barn, her expression tense, her eyes glistening. The trailer doesn't tell us why she's upset, but the clues are there. A man's voice in the background says, "You can't fix everything, Amy." And the camera cuts to a close-up of a wild horse breaking free from a fence. Symbolic? Definitely. Heartland has always used horses as mirrors for human emotion, and this scene seems to suggest that something or someone is about to slip out of Amy's control. Then comes a sudden shift. The music picks up faster now, almost restless. We see Lou pacing outside her office, her phone pressed to her ear. She looks worried. There's a flash of her shouting, "We can't afford another mistake." It's quick, but the emotion is raw. Lou's leadership is being tested again, and this time it might not be just about her career. There's a brief, powerful shot of her standing in front of a City Hall banner, her expression breaking for a split second. That one frame tells a whole story. She's strong on the outside, but falling apart inside. And then Tim, the trailer cuts to him in the stables, brushing a horse but clearly distracted. His movements are slower, his face more thoughtful than we've seen in a while. There's a faint, almost ghostly melody playing in the background, the kind used in Heartland whenever a secret is about to surface. Then he looks up and mutters, "It's happening again," just like that. Fans are thrown into speculation mode. What's happening again? Is he referring to a family problem, an old wound reopening, or something entirely new? Whatever it is. Tim's words add a layer of mystery that the trailer doesn't explain, but it wants us to ask. The trailer's midpoint hits hard. We see a brief montage, me comforting Lindy, Jack fixing a fence.
Oh.
Georgie's name whispered in the background even though she doesn't appear on screen. Could this be a tease for her return? The show has done this before, hinting at characters before reintroducing them in surprising ways. And then, for just half a second, there's a shot of a mysterious figure standing near the ranch gate. The camera doesn't show the face. Fans have already slowed the clip down frame by frame, convinced it's someone from Amy's past. Some think it's a new trainer. Others believe it might be connected to Ty's old storyline. The trailer gives nothing away, but that's what makes it so powerful. The tone shifts again in the final seconds. The lighting darkens. Rain begins to fall. Amy is seen sitting alone in the barn, holding something small in her hands, maybe a photo, maybe a letter. Her eyes fill with tears, and we hear Jack's voice in the background saying, "Sometimes the hardest part isn't losing someone. It's learning to live again." And the trailer cuts to black, leaving a heavy silence that lingers even after the screen fades out. It's the kind of ending that doesn't just tease an episode, it promises emotional chaos. Everything about this trailer screams transition. The characters aren't where they used to be emotionally, spiritually, or even physically. It feels like Heartland is setting up its next chapter with quiet tension. And episode 2 is where everything begins to shift. The visuals, the dialogue, even the silence, it all carries meaning. The episode seems to explore the weight of choices, the pain of the past, and the fragile hope of moving forward. And judging by the tone, fans should brace themselves because Heartland is about to remind us that healing always comes at a cost at first glance. The episode 2 trailer feels straightforward, emotional, dramatic, and full of tension. But when you slow it down, frame by frame, the real story starts to reveal itself. Heartland has always been known for its quiet storytelling, where a single look or background object can mean far more than words. And in this trailer, those tiny, most invisible moments are what fans can't stop talking about. Let's start with the opening shot of the ranch. It looks peaceful, but if you pause just as the camera pans across the fence line, you'll notice something odd. A new horse in the background, one that we haven't seen before. It's darker in color, wild-looking, and standing apart from the others. This might not seem like much, but in Heartland, a new horse almost always signals a new story. Fans online are already calling it Shadow 2.0, wondering if Amy's next challenge is connected to this mysterious animal. Maybe this horse belongs to someone new or someone returning. Then, there's the photo on Amy's desk. It flashes for less than a second, but it's enough to make you pause. At first, it looks like a normal family picture. Amy, Lindy, and Jack. But if you look closely, there's a shadow in the background near the edge of the frame. Some fans believe it's Ty's old photo still hanging on the wall, but others think it's a completely new person. Could this be the hint of a newcomer entering Amy's life? Or maybe, just maybe, a reminder of a past she's not ready to let go of? One of the most powerful hidden details appears during Lou's scene in her office. Behind her on a bulletin board, there's a map of Hudson with several pins and notes stuck to it. One of the pins is placed right on the Heartland property. Now, this could just be a set detail, but knowing Heartland's careful attention to background design, it might mean something bigger. Perhaps Lou's mayoral work is about to affect her own family's land. The show could be setting up a conflict where family values clash with political decisions. If that's true, then episode 2 could be the start of a serious dilemma for Lou. Another Blinkondle my sit moment comes when Tim is in the barn. If you look at the stall behind him, there's a small nameplate that says Phoenix. Now, fans know Phoenix as Georgie's horse, but Georgie herself is nowhere in the trailer. The inclusion of that nameplate feels deliberate. It's a subtle reminder that Georgie's presence still lingers in the story, even if she hasn't appeared yet this season. And this could be the show's quiet way of telling us she's not gone for good. Maybe she'll return later in season 19, or at least her story will continue to impact those she left behind. Then comes a moment that most people missed. A sound, not a visual. Right after Amy says, "Sometimes you have to let go." There's a faint echo in the background, almost like a horse's whinny, layered with wind. It's soft, haunting, and oddly emotional. Some fans believe it's an intentional callback to Ty's final scene years ago, where the same kind of echo was used as a symbol of loss and memory. If that's true, it means the show is tying Amy's emotional struggle in. Episode 2, back to her grief, showing that while she's trying to move on, the past still whispers to her in quiet moments. Even the weather in the trailer feels symbolic. The shift from morning light to dark skies mirrors Amy's emotional journey. When the rain starts to fall, it's not just about creating a dramatic moment. It's a visual metaphor. Rain in Heartland has always represented cleansing and renewal. So when we see Amy sitting in the barn as the storm rages outside, it's not just sadness, it's the start of healing. The show uses weather like a character, and this time, speaking louder than words. Finally, there's that mysterious figure near the ranch gate. The face is hidden, the camera slightly shaky, and it cuts away just before the figure moves. It could easily be a red herring. Heartland loves to tease fans with these moments. But what makes it interesting is the way Amy reacts in the next shot. She turns her head sharply, almost like she's sensing something familiar. The editing connects those two moments for a reason. Whoever that figure is, it's someone important, maybe an old friend, maybe a stranger with a connection to the past. The lighting, the pacing, even the silence between cuts, it all builds an unspoken promise that episode 2 will bring answers. The beauty of Heartland is how it hides meaning in plain sight. The trailer isn't just showing what happens next, it's whispering clues about where every character is heading. From the new horse to the photo, from the sound of the wind to the faint echoes of memory, everything feels intentional. Episode 2 isn't just about continuing the story. It's about facing ghosts, rebuilding trust, rediscovering what home really means. If you think the episode 2 trailer already gave away too much, think again. What's happening behind the scenes might be even more shocking than what's shown on screen. Over the past few weeks, whispers from crew interviews, leaked production notes, and insider fan posts have begun to paint a different picture of what's coming. One that could completely reshape Heartland's tone for the rest of season 19. Let's start with the biggest leak that's got the fandom in chaos. Rumors about a major character's return. According to a few sources on fan forums and Reddit threads, the production team filmed several unlisted night scenes. During the shoot for episode 2, scenes that weren't part of the official call sheet, this has led fans to believe that Georgie might make a surprise reappearance, even if it's brief. One alleged set photo showed a familiar silhouette near the Hudson stables. And while it's grainy, the body language looks unmistakably like Georgie's. If true, This could explain why Phoenix's nameplate appeared in the trailer. It wasn't just a reminder. It was foreshadowing, but that's not the only leak. Some insiders have hinted that Heartland might be introducing a new character connected to Ty's past. This theory started after a casting call surfaced online for a quiet, introspective ranch hand in his mid-30s with a mysterious background. Fans quickly speculated that this could be someone who once knew Ty, maybe a friend, a mentor, or even someone tied to his old vet work. Imagine the emotional impact if this new character arrives carrying a message or a promise that Ty made before his death. It would bring Amy's emotional journey full circle, forcing her to confront the parts of Ty's life she never fully understood. There's also a theory gaining momentum around Lou's storyline. In episode 1, we saw her struggling with her responsibilities as mayor. But the leak suggests her political life will directly clash with her family's values, specifically the ranch. Some believe she'll face pressure to approve a project that could threaten Heartland's land or local wildlife. That would place Lou in one of her toughest moral dilemmas yet: choose her career or her family's legacy. And the trailer's line, "We can't afford another mistake," might not just be about city politics. It could be a warning that something bigger is at stake. And then there's Tim. Every season, he carries the emotional weight of the past, but this time, the leak hints at something deeply personal. A post from a background extra claimed that Tim's episode 2 scenes were filmed at a hospital location, which wasn't used for any other characters. That set detail alone has fans speculating about his health. Could we be looking at a storyline that forces Tim to finally slow down, face his own vulnerability, and confront his mortality? The trailer's haunting line, "It's happening again," suddenly, it feels a lot heavier when you think about it in that context. Another major theory connects everything through a single theme: healing through rediscovery. Fans notice that every major shot in the trailer mirrors moments from earlier seasons: Amy with the horse, Lou looking out the window, Jack mending a fence, and that mystery figure by the gate. All are echoes of moments we've seen before, years ago. Some believe this is deliberate, almost like the show is circling back to its roots. There's even a fan theory that episode 2 will reveal a letter or message from Ty that Amy never saw, something that ties the past to the present and reignites her hope. And finally, there's one more shocking rumor: a possible departure. According to a local entertainment article that briefly appeared online before being taken down, one longtime character is set to step away midway through season 19. No name was given, but the timing has fans nervous. Could it be Lisa, who's been quietly supporting everyone from the sidelines? Or could Jack himself face a storyline that changes everything about his role at Heartland? Whatever the case, the emotional stakes are about to rise higher than ever, in true Heartland fashion. The truth will likely be revealed slowly, through quiet moments and heartfelt conversations. The leaks might not all be true, but if even half of them are, episode 2 could mark a turning point not just for Amy, but for the entire series. The trailer gave us glimpses of pain, mystery, and rebirth. But the real storm might be happening behind those scenes we haven't seen yet. There's something different about Heartland this time. Season 19 doesn't just feel like another chapter, it feels like a reckoning. Episode 2, from everything we've seen and heard, isn't simply about drama or nostalgia. It's about healing, facing the ghosts that never really left, and finding light in places that once felt lost. The trailer doesn't scream its message, it whispers it through glances, silences, and the way the wind moves across the ranch. And if you listen closely, you can feel it. Heartland is about to make us cry. Again, but in the most beautiful way possible. For Amy, this episode could be her most defining moment since Ty's death. We've watched her carry the weight of grief and responsibility for years, but the look in her eyes in this trailer feels new. It's not pain anymore, it's acceptance, mixed with fear of what comes next. That single line, "doing the right thing doesn't always feel right," captures the essence of her struggle. She's learning that healing isn't about forgetting the past. It's about forgiving herself for still missing it. Whether it's the wild horse, the mysterious stranger, Or the letter she might find, every clue points toward Amy finally rediscovering her strength, not just as a trainer or mother, but as a woman learning to live again. Lou's story, 2, feels like it's reaching a breaking point. Her journey has always been about balance between ambition and family, love and leadership, success and sacrifice. But in episode 2, that balance may collapse. The weight of being mayor, sister, and mother all at once is pulling her in every direction. That short clip of her staring at the map of Hudson wasn't just a political shot, it was symbolic. It showed how her choices ripple through everything she loves. And maybe, for the first time, Lou will realize that being a leader doesn't mean standing tall. Sometimes it means bending before you break. If the rumors about her family land being threatened are true, you could see Lou fighting not just for a town, but for her identity.